No, así que estoy... Ya, en caso de algo, ahí tengo videos. No, pues nomás porque en caso de algo, que por cualquier cosa, que... No, pues de esas... No, somos una aplicación que bajé hace tiempo que... No, la aplicación misma tiene una opción de que puede también uno automáticamente subirla. Ajá, no es porque pues para tener evidencia de algo, o sea, no hacen caso que, ajá, no, como allá manejan casi accidentes cada día, me ha tocado. No, no es por eso que, ajá, no.
And continuing on into traffic. Traffic update is at 11:18 on the traffic leader, KCDS. Bay Area forecast, we're looking at cloudy and foggy conditions overnight. Coastal fog sticking around most of the day. 60s to the mid-80s tomorrow. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on KCDS.
But he taught me more about being a lawyer than any professor I had in law school. He talked about him in our meeting with the legal. That told me that I would be successful if I ran my law practice the same way that he ran his neighborhood
Pues acá está la entrada también al norte, como no es que acá como que pues tienen que uno por el 280, que para ir a cambiar de línea, que a veces no dan chance. No, es por eso que, no, es que a veces ya como en una hora, a veces no, depende, ajá, depende, ay.
Walking down the sidewalk when something bad happened to you. Call us and tell us what happened. I'm Omar House, and I want to be your advocate. We have an office near you. Visit HavisLaw.com. HAWSLaw.com. KCBS, in partnership with UCSF Health presents As Prescribed, a weekly conversation with leading medical experts from UCSF Medical Center and UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital. Hear from the experts. Recognized worldwide for innovations in patient care, the latest medical knowledge, and pioneering research. As Prescribed, every Thursday at 1:30 on KCBS 740 AM and 1 and streaming on the Odyssey app.
It's not often that something you like is actually good for you. Take sleeping on your side. Studies indicate that side sleeping can help with nighttime breathing. After all, for over 50 years, they've been working on your side, and that's a good thing. European Sleepworks at Adeline and Ashby in Berkeley are online at sleepworks.com.
KCBS News Time, 11:11. Police arrested a man allegedly to the 7 sexual assaults dating back to 2017. The Mercury News reports Christopher Owens of Martinez is charged with 12 felonies and a misdemeanor for crimes related to seeking vulnerable people. Police say Owens targeted homeless women, and in another case, he allegedly assaulted a woman whom he'd walked into her place and assaulted her a week later. He was arrested July 7th and is being held at Martinez Jail on a $1.4 million bond. And if you're under 50 and want a second COVID booster, your chance may be right around the corner. KCBS's Melissa Colross reports the Biden administration is considering authorizing the extra shot for younger adults.
Is that second booster shot necessary for healthy people who aren't at risk due to age or other reasons of getting really sick if they catch COVID? Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security senior scholar Dr. Ava Shadalsha doesn't think so, especially in this age of highly contagious Omicron subvariants.
Booster vaccines really only give you transient protection against infection, and they're really much better at protecting against severe disease, but you have to have a risk for severe disease to really benefit from those boosters. And I've always been someone who wanted more targeted boosters rather than universal. everybody needs a booster, and the 65-year-old thinks he's the same as the 45-year-old. So the urgency to need a booster.
You can hear Ask an Expert weekday mornings at 9:20 on KCBS, on the air, and on the Odyssey app. Melissa Colorado, KCBS.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically like hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
Very easy, pretty much hands off. You know, they picked up the ball and ran with it.
Go.
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-298-3904. 800-298-3904. 800-298-3904. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 will prevent infection from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-238-or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm at Prevnar 20.
Coming up on KCBS, I'm Jeffrey Schaub in Mill Valley. This week's Teen Times underscore plans to address recent flooding in southern Marin. It's 11:15 on the sports line. Both the Giants and the A's bats came alive tonight with double-digit wins for both teams. The Giants D-backs 13-0. Big hits by Wilmer Flores and Jairo Estrada. In fact, Estrada hit 2 of the Giants' 4 home runs. Logan Webb struck out 8. And in Texas, the A's beat the Rangers 13-7 in 12 innings. The game was tied at 5 going into the 10th, when the A's then scored 8 runs in the 12th inning. Chad Pinder with a grand slam. More scores with Kevin.
Tiger Woods was pretty direct at his Tuesday press conference at St. Andrews, says he does not approve of the LIV Golf Tour and the players' motivation for joining that tour.
These players are doing for, guaranteed money. What is the incentive to practice? What is the incentive to go out there and earn in the dirt? You're just getting paid a lot of money up front and playing a few events and playing 54 holes. They're trying to, blaring music and have all these atmospheres that are different. I can understand 54 holes is almost like a mandate when you get to the senior tour. The guys are a little bit older, a little more banged up. But, when you're at a young age, and some of these kids, and there really are kids who are gone from amateur golf into that organization, 72 are part of it. I just don't see how that move is positive in the long term.
The top name in golf not down with the LIV Tour. Meanwhile, Bridgestone parting ways with Bryson DeChambeau over his LIV golf ties. At the sports desk, Kevin Radich, KCBS.
Today, we're talking about things that make us uncomfortable, like the middle seat on an airplane, or asking your boss for a raise, or having a real conversation about ED, impotence, or low testosterone. You don't have to be embarrassed. At Prime Male Medical, they've helped thousands of men in the Bay Area, and they can help you too. But don't take my word for it. Here's Dr. Robert Rowley for Prime Male Medical.
We have virtually every medication known to man to help men. We specialize in treatments for ED and low T, and we have a 99% success rate. We offer a variety of treatments, including high doses of liberal lozenges, ultrasound-based shock-wave therapy, and injectable therapy. Most impotence problems can be treated in just one visit.
Get your first visit PSA and a full year of follow-up visits for just $99
Learn more at primemailmedical.com or call 415-761-4037. That's 415-761-4037. It's 11:18 at KCBS Traffic and Weather. Together, traffic first with Carolyn Burns.
And we head back to the Vallejo area there. We still have this 2 crash working. It's on westbound 80 just before one of those cars hit the center divide. It has ended up on the right-hand shoulder. CHP is on scene. It doesn't look like there are too many injuries involved. They haven't asked for an ambulance just yet. They are saying that traffic is moving past the scene at the limit there. Also, right now, if you're in the East Bay, we now have some road work in place. Eastbound 80 across the west bridge through the Yerba Buena Island Tunnel. You find that the 2 left lanes are closed. They're doing some work there. A little bit of sluggish traffic as you approach the lower deck there. And it's busy in the Cordelia area. They are doing some road work on eastbound 80. Looks like 2 lanes are shut down there from Red Top Road to the 680 southbound connector ramp. Also that connector ramp to southbound 680 and Green Valley shut down. Your next traffic update is at 11:28 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Bay Area weather, 6-day forecast from KCBS. Windy overnight. Coastal fog will be sticking around most of the day tomorrow, but sunshine eventually bayside and inland. 60s to the mid-80s tomorrow, to the low to mid-90s Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and to the upper 80s on Sunday and Monday. But the fog will persist at the coast. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Never miss a headline. Never miss a story. Never miss the news.
Oh boy, now we have some lane closures because of that fire that Kim Vestal's been telling you about.
Eucalyptus trees evidently burning.
Download the Odyssey app and favorite KCBS to stream the Bay Area's news station whenever and wherever.
Now we've driving. CHP have shut down the 3 right lanes southbound because of the situation.
We are the Bay Area's news station, KCBS.
KCBS News Time, 11:20. Police in Southern California cities are searching for a man who's suspected of robbing several 7-Elevens in the shooting deaths of 2 people and the wounding of 3 more. 7-Elevens were held up in Riverside, La Habra, Brea, and Santa Ana, and the suspect also could be connected to robberies at stores in Ontario and Upland. And San Jose police have arrested an 83-year-old man who they believe shot and killed a neighbor last night. The shooting happened at a mobile home park on Almaden Road. Police say a neighbor told ABC7 TV the 2 got into an argument. This week's King Tides are a reminder to residents and businesses in southern Marin County that something needs to be done to mitigate flooding along Highways 1 and 101. KCBS's Jeffrey Shaw reports the state is setting the wheels in motion.
Every year for 11 years, Jim Singer has sold outdoor furniture at Nova Outdoor Living, and every year floods.
It'll creep up, and of course they close the exits so nobody can get in and out of here.
His store and other businesses along a stretch of a Highway 101 access road are cut off during king tides, as are the exits to Marin City and portions of Mill Valley. Now Caltrans will use $30 million in state money to study what could be a to hold back Mother Nature.
How do you feel about the fact that the state is going to finally address this?
Well, I think it's a good thing. I mean, this is a pretty busy highway. It's a pretty busy off-ramp, and when they have to close it, it creates a lot of problems for the people that live in Mill Valley.
Once construction trucks roll through here later this decade, Caltrans could raise the second and the Marin City off-ramp, build a 700-foot-long seawall as well. State money has also been allocated to address major flooding in Nevada. In Mill Valley, Jeffrey Shaw, KCBS.
California will require gun makers and dealers to block firearm sales to anyone that they have reasonable cause to believe is at substantial risk of using a gun illegally or harming themselves or others. Current background checks or prohibitions on selling guns to people banned from owning them. Conduct code for gun makers and dealers and allows anyone who suffers harm from violations. Peak fishing fishing season in the Bay Area coincides with sky-high fuel costs. KCBS's David Welch reports charter boat operators are really feeling the strain.
Longtime charter operator Dwayne Winter runs Mooch Fishing out of Half Moon Bay. He says diesel prices are the highest he can recall since he started his business over 20 years ago.
I paid 70 cents a gallon. Last year we were like $3.29.
Winter says he's raised his prices to cover fuel costs. Even with higher prices, though, he says customers are scarce this season.
And that affects the business, particularly like a fishing business, because that's something people do to have fun, and if they don't have money, they're not going to do that.
Winter says he doesn't expect to turn a profit this season.
You just have to do the best you can and batten down the hatches. What are you going to do? I mean, you can't make people call you and want to go fishing.
And he says he's not sure how much longer he can keep his boat in the water.
I mean, we have much more going on than just the fuel costs right now. California Air Resources Board is mandating newer engines, and I got a quote on 2 new engines, $200,000.
David Welch, KCBS.
Governor Newsom is headed to Washington to consider his national political ambitions. The 4-day trip comes at a time when Newsom's been chatting and holding up California as a sanctuary for what he calls fundamental rights, gay and lesbian marriage, freedom of speech, and a woman's right to an abortion. Despite chatter about a White House run, the 54-year-old Newsom dismisses any interest in the presidency.
28 days and counting. AAA says retail gasoline prices continue to fall, taking its daily national average for unleaded regular down to $4.65. Just 9 states are now above $5, down from almost half a month ago. That Peloton bike or treadmill you buy will be made by Peloton. It's ending in-house manufacturing and will rely on partners instead. Peloton gained 3.7%. For most of Wall Street, a down day. Investors came down with the inflation jitters ahead of what's expected to be an ugly consumer price report tomorrow. The Dow dropped 193, the S&P fell 36, the Nasdaq lost 108. You may have never heard of EV maker Canoo. 500 Canoo delivery vans with an option to buy more. It's a lifeline for Canoo, which warned in May that it might not be able to stay in business. Larry Kofsky, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
A global pandemic, social unrest, and wild market swings. Welcome to the new normal. For investors looking for financial stability, it's a challenge. But now there's Reliant Capital. Reliant could give you high returns with no market behind, 10 to 12%. And it's eligible for an IRA or 401k rollover. Call 800-788-1000 and get the kind of returns Warren Buffett's been earning for years. Invest in something you can rely on. 788-1000 for your free brochure.
What's an investor to do these days? With a worldwide pandemic and economically turbulent times, you wonder, where can I find a reliable investment? Answer, Reliant Capital. Reliant could give you high returns with no market risk guide, 10 to 12%. And it's eligible for an IRA or 401k rollover. Call 800-788-1000 and get the double-digit that's been earning for years. Protect what you've worked for and call 800-788-1000.
Big news, everybody.
Hey,
what's up?
You ready? Half the store, up to 30% off.
That is big.
Wait, half of what store?
S&G Carpet. Half of S&G Carpet is up to 30% off. It's called the Big Sale. 30% off's a big deal. Half of S&G's big showroom.
And half their mobile showroom?
Up to 30% off. A sale that big needs a big idea. I say we all go to S&G and get.
Here, there's big news.
S&G Carpet's having their big sale.
Half the store's up to 30% off.
Half of S&G's carpet, waterproof core, hardwood, and laminate is up to 30% off.
S&G can install it, or you can buy it and do it yourself.
I can install yours.
That's very big of you.
He's got a very big heart.
And some very big plans.
And apparently some very big ears.
During the big sale at S&G, half of Northern California's biggest selection to 30% off. Plus, get S&G's no surprise guarantee and promise to beat any written estimate by 10%. Go to sgcarpet.com for the showroom nearest you, or to have their mobile showroom come to.
Project Out from Comcast is working to help advance digital equity and build a world of unlimited possibilities. From